of excitement he really generated. So, I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right target.
Throw knocked away and incomplete. So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca. Dalton's throw taken in by Landry. And he's upended at the
Coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he is going to have a Saints first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get forward on 3rd and 2. And Dalton to throw. Over the middle, into the hands of Michael Thomas. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Flush, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Holding offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Throwing, Dalton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. A first down from Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. The Vikings are 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. They got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself in an early season crossroads, but that's exactly where they were. At 0-2, they were thinking if we fall to 0-3, things can spin out of control. But now at 1-2, they shouldn't feel the need to press out there. They're now back in a good spot. Find a way to win some games and keep moving forward.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 36 yards on the play. Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll run for the first time with Hill. 7 yards there and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And the Vikings are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down and less than a yard. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Demario Davis there on the stop.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Cousins on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives him the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing, Cousins. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And now it's third down.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport. So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. Back deep, the Louisiana native Jarvis Landry. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Dalton sets up play action. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere. But it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So here are the Vikings to take over. Last week, good result. They were able to beat the Detroit Lions, and now they are on the good side of the scoreboard right now as well. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
And they'll use him out in the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. 1st down Vikings.
Very nice catch there by Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in the game after just 2 seasons in the league. As a rookie, 2nd-team All-Pro, and then in his 2nd year, was 2nd in the league in yardage. This guy continues to grow and get better with every game.
David Onyemata there on the tackle. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing is Cousins. Find Thielen on the right side. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 42. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On play action, Cousins. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Here's 2nd and a yard. Pick up, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Now Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Justin Jefferson. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Joseph connects on the extra point. And it's now 14-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Two fantastic games coming up to wrap up Week 4, the first weekend in October. Tonight, the Chiefs and Buccaneers from Tampa. That's a rematch of Super Bowl 55, of course. And then Monday night, rematch of last year's NFC Championship game, the Rams and Niners from Santa Clara. Coverage on that one, 8:15 Eastern. The throw right sideline here is complete.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Dalton's throw caught by Olave. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. So Dalton now. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's second down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Dalton, he gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. Touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith, 70 yards. And the Saints are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 3rd and long for Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needs. On track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now with this offense.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now Landry. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Here's Dalton. And he's got the hook up to Landry. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Here's Dalton. They'll get this out to Kamara. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And this will be called officially a 66-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
Yeah, it's been a disappointing first half for them, all things considered. And this can serve as the capper. It's a missed field goal in the late going, and that's only going to serve to lessen the mood even further.
Final play of the half, Cousins. The 20. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. A look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the 3rd quarter. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis, operating Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. Now come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. Hey, Charles, they got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On 2nd down, Cook, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Open man, it's Rager. He's got it. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Up the middle, it's Cook. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Cousins. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting the sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. No gain on the screen there at second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Cousins. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Cousins on first down. Open right side, complete to Rager. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. He's at the 30, past the 20. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half. They give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big time fumble. Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. The scoop and score always always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now out comes Minnesota. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. From the 29, Cousins. That is caught by Thielen. Then he will finally be taken down. But how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the third quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. Welcome back now here in London. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Cook up the gut. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing, Cousins. Uses the stiff arm. He's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because he had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings have taken a fourth quarter lead. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it, we got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Andy Dalton throwing middle, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner. We watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. Room here to run. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Dalton's throw complete there to Johnson. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Throwing, Dalton. Olave holds it in. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with this 4-point fourth-quarter lead.
Not a run that you're going to write home with. Good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. A 10th carry for Kamara. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll bring him back within a point. So that gets him a little closer as he converts there, but you have to think back to the field goal he missed earlier.
Right now, that's the difference between leading and trailing. So at this moment, he's reciting that kicker's prayer that we know so well. Just give me one more shot before this one's said and done.
From the 10. The Vikings now heading onto the field. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off. Because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Play action now. Cousins. Open man. He's got Jefferson across the formation. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight one-point game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run straight ahead with Hill, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Throwing here, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Cousins to throw. To Jefferson on the slant. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Back to the ground, it's Hill. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 20-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind.
It's a touchdown. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use it because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Dalton and the offense now. Down by 8, a minute 15 remaining. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Dalton. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. They try to take a shot there on second down, and that leaves them, because of the incompletion, a very tricky 3rd and 10.
And with the time situation, you would expect them to try and get it all in this one play, but there's still enough time that if you can take something shorter, gain some yardage, make it a more manageable 4th down if you need to.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They'll try the middle with Cook. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand play in, and it can backfire on them.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Cousins. There's the stiff arm. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it, and let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter, but a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there, but in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for Minnesota, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.